So here we see a zoomed in view of some of the parts and pieces of the white matter and gray matter in the spinal cord. Now, first and foremost, let's think in terms of what we're actually kind of seeing here. What we're looking at here is movement of information through the spinal cord, like in the case of something like a reflex, okay? So through the posterior root and through the posterior root ganglion, so remember this is cell bodies of sensory neurons. So the posterior root is always going to carry sensory information. That sensory information comes in and is going to enter the spinal cord here in our posterior gray horn. So here in our gray matter, we have the interneurons. These are basically neurons that are trying to decide what to do with this information. Is this information important enough to send to the brain, or important enough to just send a reflex out immediately, or do we need to bother the brain with this information and get some feedback here? Now, information will always go to the brain, even in a reflex, but in a reflex, we want that information to come out as fast as we can. So these interneurons are making that decision. And they're basing those decisions off of the sensory information coming in through that posterior root, whether it's somatic or whether it is visceral. Now, as they make those decisions, they're going to send those signals out, and they're going to send it out through these two lower portions down here, which are either the lateral horn or the anterior horn. The lateral horn is going to take our visceral motor information out, okay? So this is going to be talking to glands and stuff like that, okay? The anterior horn is going to be responsible for getting somatic motor information out. So making sure that we're telling muscles what to do. Now, if we look in terms of white tracts, we can also see some of our white tracts here. So we have our posterior funiculus. So this is basically just a column of white matter. This is basically a particular highway that particular types of information can follow. We have another one of these on the lateral side, and we have another one that is anterior. Now, importantly here, we can also see our gray commissure. Now, remember that commissures in the spinal cord are going to be places where information can cross over, so it can go from being on the right-hand side to being on the left-hand side. You can think about this as being like an interstate interchange, where it's pretty easy to continue moving quickly, but just simply going from one place over to the next.